Painting with Menoth John is presented in Super Legitivision. Super Legitivision, the future of podcasting. It's .com.
Hello, I'm
Menoth John.
and I'd like to welcome you. First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your homes. If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your
miniatures
and paint along with us each week. Let's go over to the canvas here and let's get started. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. Let's build a happy little cloud. Let's build some happy little trees. There are no limits here. You start out by believing here. You can almost paint with anything. All you have to do is practice.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to use my radio announcer voice for the rest of the broadcast. No, I'm not. I can't keep that shit up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Sunday night, and that means that it's all right. You are here, of course, on the Sunday Night Extravaganza. I'm Menoth John, and up in the catbird seat, of course, we have Mr. John Spencer.
Hey-o!
And next to him, we have the mascot of the show, the Irrational Gonzo. Oh, you got to put your mic on if you want people to hear you. They're a tough guy.
He's still into painting.
I was trying to be nice and respectful and, keep all this professional, but
Nope.
fuck it.
Nope. This is amateur hour, folks. Anybody that tells you different, they're lying to you. Anybody that is podcasting for War Machine and Hordes, it's amateur hour. There ain't nobody doing this professional style. Promise. Well, we've got a big show planned for you. Folks, we advertised that we were going to be talking about Retribution as a part of the show. We teased you a little bit there. We already talked about it because we were bored during the pre-ramble. If you want to hear this stuff, we talk about the releases for Retribution, and boy, we said some controversial stuff out there. Not really. We just talked about it. There's some we like a lot of them. We think overall it's a pretty darn nice release. Nothing stupid.
Oh God, yeah.
But pretty
We
solid.
disagreed.
Yeah.
Well, no, John. I feel like we need to fulfill a little bit of obligation to the Brushheads. So, should we talk about Gorsche 4 after we do our drinks and all?
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great.
Talk about him before.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's talk about Gorsche 4 here for just a second. Of course, tonight I'm trying to get my body ready for the Sioux, so I'm trying not to drink too many calories, because I'm gonna be dick deep in fucking poutine and chefs by this time next week. I'm gonna be drinking a little bit of Two Women from the New Glarus Brewing Company. What about you, John?
I'm going to start off with a shot of Cannon Blast and follow it up with a screwdriver that might have a little too much vodka. Does that make it a pile driver?
Sure, it does now.
That just makes it good.
It does now. What about you, there, tough guy?
Of course, I'll be drinking my Macallan 18 to help us out to start. And I still have some of this Blue Moon honey wheat.
And is that kicking your ass?
Actually really, really good.
Nice. Well, on behalf of alcohol, which brings you most of this broadcast, hey, Ron.
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 Man, that's a good beer. It's not bad for a lager, I got to tell you. And it's got a picture of two women holding grain on the front. Can't argue with that either. All right, then after that, I'm gonna be drinking water. So let's talk a little bit about. I gotta reach back here and get my iPad so I can see what the hell it is that Gorsche 4 actually does. Gorsche 4.
Gorsche, the Forgiven.
The Forgiven. He's the one that. Gorsche got the memo that Crix was not in a good place, so he jumped factions.
He left. See, Gorsche's a power gamer.
He is a power gamer. He's looking a little rough, rode hard and put away wet on his art.
But remarkably well for a formerly undead guy.
True.
Yeah.
True. He looks quite refreshed after his sleep.
And based on the rules, he looks alive.
Yep. So he's got Arcane Vortex, which is always kind of good. And then he gives all of his Warjacks Arcane Vortex. So fuck you, Crix.
It's really awesome.
Yeah.
Especially for those jacks who are like, I got my Griffins hanging up behind my lines. Oh, spell over there? I didn't run last turn, so yeah, no.
God. There you go. So there you go. Go ahead, John.
And his melee weapon is still out of control, given just straight up stationary if it hits, unless you're immunity cold.
Yep.
And POW 15. God, he's a ball breaker like that. He can put the kids to bed, as they say.
Yep, and he is a 7, and he's a Focus 7 caster, which is always good. I think Focus 7 is one of my favorite focuses. It's good. It's a nice, solid focus number.
We don't get that in Mercs too often.
New. He's got Backlash. So this is the second caster in Ret that has Backlash, which I think is pretty cool. And then he has Frost Field. So a target-friendly faction model unit gets Chiller. And for those of you who don't remember what Chiller is, when you're within 2 inches of a model with Chiller, you get -2 defense. So it's like an automatic buff of +2 on your to hit, which is bueno.
Like that Haley spell, just fucking fair.
Yeah, bueno.
I had to.
All right, nah, fuck Haley.
Ghostwalk.
Ghostwalk is amazing. Always like Ghostwalk.
Yeah, Ghostwalk is so good.
Yep. Ran up to engage me, did ya? How about that? That's cute. That's adorable.
Yeah.
That's adorable. Hex Blast. Gotta love it. Gotta love upkeep hate. It's always a good thing. And Hex
Especially the ones that don't have any way out of it. Just, I hit you? No, that spell goes away.
Yep. So, then Mage Sight, which is always a good thing.
Especially in a faction like Ret, which has such good guns on their jacks.
I know, right?
Man.
So that's
Hail
really
Hydra.
good. Yes,
Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra. And then he has Revive also.
So when this came out, I was at work and I didn't have my iPad, couldn't update it anyways. So I had L. Marshall send me some screenshots, and the screenshot didn't actually include Revive in it, and I was still like, man, this guy's great.
Yep.
And I get home and look like, oh yeah, I forgot he has Revive too. That's extra great.
Yep. So he's going to be spending a lot of his stack, and that's good. We like that. We have and then
Gonzo works well with the spears. Shield guard with that one? Yeah, 3 focus. She can come back.
boom.
Yep.
With armor 11, 1 box is plenty to shield guard. You weren't living through that shit anyways.
Ah. Then
Get
we
back up.
so we got the Hand of Winter is his feat. While in Gorsheads control range, because fuck Gershield. How do you even pronounce that?
Bullshit.
Gorshe. And then friendly faction models gain concealment, immunity cold, and freezer, and it lasts a round. And freezer, if a model ends their activation within 2 inches, they become stationary. So it's silly. It's a little bit like a shitty Borka 2 feat. It's like a shittier version of Borka 2's feat, but it's on a 14-inch range.
Yeah, on a 14-inch range and on a caster that has a slightly better array of spells, I would say.
Well, I mean, if you look at it's an offensive and defensive type 1. All right, well, I'm going to give myself concealment. I'm playing against a huge ranged army. And then you've got, I'm going to charge in this round, and you're still going to be in melee at the end of it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of jacks out there that cannot kill enough dudes to get itself unengaged. It's like, and now I'm stationary.
Yep.
Yeah. And you think about it, maybe you take some House Guard Halberdiers in there. You've got they're starting off, I believe, at 13. They're up to 15, and then they do their shield wall and their mini feat, and not only are they hard to hit, they're damn hard to break armor. It's all good.
Or Griffins or something. Griffins are remarkably hard to kill without a concerted effort.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think he's pretty cool. I'll be getting him.
Yeah.
Really, really like it. I think it'd be fun to play. I'm probably going to play Ret after the Sioux. I think.
I have a chance. I'm going to stick with nominally minions, even though I haven't broken them out in a bit, and mercenaries for a bit. When the new Steamroller hits, for the Store Wars, which I am technically a part of, though I'm sort of last man in, I'm allowed to change one of my factions. So I'm going to change minions to one of my other 2 factions, Ret or Circle, at that point.
Yep.
Just to get some variety going.
So I'll be doing that. If you want to hear about the rest of the models and all that kind of good stuff, get on over to patreon.com/menothjohn. You know, folks, we're still taking memberships. You can still get over there and join us in there, and we'll be happy to accept your subscription. It really does help us kind of keep the lights on. folks, we're putting out more damn content than you can shake a stick at, and I'm so far behind, I don't even know which way to turn anymore. We
So is
filled.
this a good time to tell you that I recorded more stuff this week?
Nope, because I don't want to become despondent. So
Okay,
on
but I totally didn't.
tomorrow
Don't
morning,
remember.
the Libsyn account recycles, so I will be putting more stuff up tomorrow. So this episode will hit, as well as Sewer Bear will go up, and you'll also see some co-host corners going up. I've got to get this backlog put up on everywhere before I head off to the Sioux, or literally it may never post. Plus, we still got some shit we haven't even released from the all-day broadcast yet. So, guys,
Yep.
if you want to get over to patreon.com/menothjohn, we are, we've got entire countries that we have employed to create content for this. Strong Badia is kicking stuff in. We've got stuff from Burkina Faso that we're bringing stuff in.
No one does podcasts like Tyre.
No, Tyre's king in podcasting.
No doubt.
Yeah, he'll the words.
Exactly.
I know.
One might say he rolls through it.
Oh, snap. It's like he's butter because he's on a roll. Anyway, so and nobody also, folks, has a luchador bottle opener like this one right there. So, if you want to see more luchador bottle opener, or if you want to see him alive, you better
Oh shit!
you better
That got
fucking
kind of dark.
Hey man, please help me. He's serious about this. Anyway, so there you go. I'm gonna put him back over here, and so we're gonna go ahead and tune in on the painting cam. Was there anything else? We want to talk about SR2017 a little bit, don't we, John?
Yeah, the two CIDs that we care about, real quick.
Whee!
No offense, Crix. We're not Crix players. I feel at this point it would not be fair to us to really comment on them.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. Did they get something?
Yeah, they got stuff. Nothing completely out of hand yet, but there's some stuff that seems a little good. But I'll let it play out before I get any real comments on it.
Cool. All right, so
But,
talk about
that's
what were the major changes, John, in the CID for this month, or this week, I should say.
For this week for the Steamroller,
Yeah.
they dropped 3 objectives completely away.
Okay.
And then the fuel one became
More reasonable.
fire for its next basic attack.
Yeah, that's better.
They
We knew that
changed.
was coming.
Yeah, they changed the kill box to be 12 inches. Is that correct? And then, but only from your table edge, not
Yep.
from the sides or your enemies.
It's interesting. I think that they're doing
Yeah.
some interesting things with this. I don't look at this as being iterations. I look at it as being, let's test this and see what it does, and kind of file that data point. So it's not like it doesn't feel like they're honing in on a thing. It feels like they're like trying some different things and then seeing how they want to match it all up.
Yeah, I was kind of a fan of the 10-inch kill box. It meant that every caster in the game had to walk once straight forward and was fine. But now all the 4-speed ones have to walk twice if they're first player, and that's not terrible, but with some of the stuff coming out, it could be interesting to see.
Cool.
They also mentioned that they're thinking about removing recon entirely because it's not functioning as they're intending as far as scoring it.
It's not alive enough.
No.
Yeah, not at all. Apparently, it's really tough.
Yeah, it's stupid. You're just chasing each other in the middle of the field and just beat the crap out of each other.
Which
Cool.
is not bad, but the scenario needs to be live enough that you can do something.
Interesting.
But so that's the basics for that, Steamroller. I would like them to get back to 6 objectives. I like the variety, especially with the now ongoing talk of potentially letting you choose your objective after you've chosen your list and we know what scenario it is. That way you can cover holes. Like, let's say you need magic weapon because suddenly you got this super mega incorporeal army. You can go like, well, I'll get the objective that gives me magic weapon on
And
one model.
and that gives you the opportunity to where things you might have a dead game, let's say, or a dead, a player might be walking into something they feel like they can't win, which is no fun, and it gives you that opportunity to maybe give you a chip in a chair.
Yeah.
Ghost Fleet.
I think that's
Ghost Fleet.
What's that?
Ghost Fleet.
Ghost Fleet
the
with
crits
against
list where everything is pretty much incorporeal.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a magical gun of any sort or magic weapon, you're just fucked.
Yeah, I mean trolls
Yeah,
always had that problem. Go ahead, John.
No. So yeah, absolutely. I think that's interesting. I hope they test that next week. But I do think they need to go back to 6 objectives just for a little variety. 3 might be easier to balance, but it's a little more boring.
It could
So-
very well be that they just didn't have something in that hopper just yet, and they were trying out some different things, and it just wasn't quite ready for prime time.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think that's what it is. I think that's the thing. It's just like, okay, these just aren't doing anything what we need to anymore. We'll get rid of these. We'll give you some new ones in a week or so.
Well, it's funny because Arcane Wonder, which I actually thought was okay, they got rid of. And they also got rid of Bunker, which was fucking poop.
But Bunker was like your standard pick if you really just didn't care.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to something that was just, it was not going to matter in the game.
Yeah.
Like, it would very rarely. But there you go. It's pretty good. You guys should take a look. You should, if you're not part of the CID, at least one member of every meta should be on the CID so we can take all your results, put them up there, and try and break this shit.
Yeah, I've been using the CID also to kind of, I've been looking at, I like Rumble a lot, and I like some of these other things, and they've been really good about answering questions about Rumble because it does not have the most intuitively obvious deployments in the world, and they have been super terrific at getting back with questions about those things.
Mhm.
So
Overall, it's very positive. I want to see how it plays out. We will see, though, because Token Shitstorm is still there and still apparently a thing, but...
whatever.
Well, they also discussed getting rid of DNC.
Which I think is fair, because if you don't have character restrictions, Divide and Conquer is a dead issue.
Yep.
So, but a lot of good stuff going on there, guys. You should check it out.
Yeah, so keep the positivity flowing. Hey, appreciate Will Hungerford retweeting some really positive love about the show. That was really super
John
sweet.
Damaris said some nice things about us, too.
Oh, that's good.
Pagani?
John Damaris.
And
Sorry.
Pagani did too.
Oh, Pagani, yeah, he did too. Yeah, absolutely. It's nice.
Good.
We're the positive guys. Yay!
We try. We're trying to.
Yeah. And then also in the CID this week, they released the Battle Engine CID. Check it out. There's too much actual content to go over. We could probably do an entire podcast on it. But let's just say, unless it was the Convergence one, it got significantly, your Battle Engine got a bit better. It is probably harder to kill. Probably gained some special rules. For example, the Siege Crawler that John's holding now has 40 boxes instead of 24.
Yep.
And poops out extra dudes.
Yep.
Weapon Masters can poop out Weapon Masters.
Well,
So-
if you brought Weapon Masters, yes.
Yoey.
Or more fun is, oh, look, you killed 2 of my artillery members. Yeah, poop those guys out. Have them back, dudes. Because that happens a lot sometimes. And, I'm not sure I'm going to bring artillery with it. But if you do, that's the most likely thing to be dead early game. Because, let's be honest, late game, you're looking at those the Forge Guard Hammer Dwarves being killed. My speaking failed.
That's okay. Language hard.
Yeah, but they're all there. They got some good feedback. I've seen some good feedback on the Storm Strider. I've seen good feedback on all of them. Very interesting stuff.
The Protectorate one was relatively untouched.
Yeah, it had to be. They made it harder to kill, which I'm not sure I agree with because it was pretty good already. But if they're trying to make them all similar level, they have to do something for everything.
Yep. Its abilities were, I couldn't tell a difference. So,
I don't think there was a difference. I think the only difference is it was got some more boxes.
Yep. Anyway, so there you go. CID
Yeah.
talk. We just had some, and
Indeed.
we continue to be a big fan of the CID process. Think that this is going to be nothing but good and positive for the community and for the game. Because if some of these things had happened without the CID, who knows how good things would be.
Yeah, Drakus Takun was wondering what your thought is on the War Wagon, which is basically 13 more boxes and one point cheaper.
The War Wagon was pretty amazing beforehand, and it just got a whole lot better. So
Yeah, it was downright. It was the same as the Siege Car. I'd say they were both just about. They're playable, but not necessarily competitive. And I think this actually brings them into both.
I agree. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm probably going to play Ret because of some new toys and things like that. And quite frankly, I haven't played Ret in a long time, and those models are as. I played them right at Lock and Load when Mark III dropped, and I don't think I've picked them up since. And that faction's better than to be left on the shelf. I'm excited about it. Love it. I know that that there are some lists that Beer Machine Rich has been playing with that have a war wagon, and I'm going to tell you what, that they go from really good to really great with more wounds and a little bit cheaper. So it's all good.
Yep, I've already got a Vlad list written up, ready for it, for mine.
Yeah, and I mean, the War Wagon was already making some appearances, maybe a little bit less after they changed the sack pawn rules, but, it's still great. So I look forward to it. More list diversity, more good. That's the way I look at it.
Absolutely. All right, so we got a lot of questions. I think
Yeah.
we should jump right in.
This is it's not technically, we're not calling this Flippity Bloop episode, bonus episode 3, but it might as well be that. So I'm really looking forward to this.
All right, so I'm going to jump around a little bit because we got some that if we got enough time left, we'll take some time to actually answer.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, Declan Lowry,
That guy.
Warhammer 40K 8th edition.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
What about it?
Nice. Thoughts?
Oh, James Workshop continues to be doing smart things, and I think that this will be we'll look back on this as being a smart thing. It looks as though they're increasing the approachability of the game, which may piss off some grognards, or however you pronounce that word. But it's I think it's a good thing. I mean, I think that I'm not a 40K player, but if they keep on knocking stuff out of the park with things like bearded armored dwarves and stuff like that, who knows? I may end up with some of them. Now I realize that's Age of Sigmar, but who knows if there won't be something that compelling that will come out for the 40Ks. What are your thoughts, John?
There is a brand new faction coming out for them.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so there's a new 40K faction coming out. They already said.
So Gonzo, you recently jumped back into the 40Ks. What do you think?
I'm actually really looking forward to it. Everything I've seen, preview-wise, models, stats, it's gotten better, a whole lot better. The ability not to be able to, have guys die instantly or vehicles die real quickly because of a las gun shot or something similar.
The penetration
is actually really.
Oh, sorry.
Happy about it. No, yeah. Our guys are really happy about it. I'm really excited for it. I can't wait to see the full rules so I can get back to playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole penetration system never made a whole lot of sense to me, where you could just one-shot a big thing like that for that many points, and it would just boom.
Yeah. And that was a problem. That's the reason why a lot of people didn't play certain things. They're like, nope, I'm not going to play that. That's just going to get wrecked.
It would ebb and flow. There'd be like one edition, like, oh, vehicles are death traps. They'd be like, vehicles are gone. Oh, vehicles are death traps. They couldn't quite get it right. I've only seen some stuff tangentially about 8th edition, but since I hear a lot of power gaming grognards, that's how you pronounce that word, John.
Thank you.
Burning their armies and such on YouTube, I feel like it's got to be a good thing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
GTFO guys.
If you can drive those guys to that much rage, and they're crazy, of course, because they can't do their super overpowered list of doom, trademark, it's a good thing, because making the game more fun and more even is always a good thing. And
cleaned up. That was one of the biggest issues. Is you had to have 16 books for one army, and that was stupid. So they're going to condense everything down, combine the rules, make it make sense.
I love that they are offering gift certificates or something for people who have purchased their books in recent past. So that they are they're recognizing that people could have some hard feelings as a result of that, and they're willing to step up and give them a little something. I think that's nice.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, that was really, really deep. So we need to get a little deeper for the next one.
All right.
Oh shit.
Kevin Brook wants to know, what's your favorite Rita's Italian Ice flavor?
I've never had it.
What?
I don't know what that is.
No.
What?
I don't.
Gonzo, help me out here. Do you know what Rita's Italian Ice is?
Nope. Nope.
Cherry. My favorite flavor is cherry, and may God rest your souls.
What
it's
is
Italian Ice? It's chain. It's all over the place. I guess it's an East Coast thing.
I think it must be.
We don't have any.
Italian Ice. I mean, I've heard of Italian Ice, and that sounds delicious. But I don't have a Rita's Italian Ice anywhere near me, so I can't comment.
Well, fair enough. That was, but yeah, it's not really surprising when you think about it. All the things that you guys have there, I don't have, or it's not surprising. Like,
Yeah.
well, we just got our first Steak and Shake not that long ago, sir.
Oh.
Wow.
All right. So Michael Stubbs.
That guy.
Oh, what that guy?
That guy.
Do we know him?
In painting, which is more important to you, contrast or smooth blending? Sorry, an actual deep question. My apologies.
No, I mean I'm trying to think about it. I mean I like a little bit of both, to be honest. I think that there are times when you want a very sharp contrast because I think it makes something pop. But I think that a really smooth transition is important at sometimes too. What I've been trying to do recently is trying to get a little bit better at smoother transitions. But I think that depending on what kind of an effect you're trying to achieve with your model, I think that they both have a place.
But what's more important to you?
What's more important to me? I think that it's more important to me to have a smooth transition. Right
I
now.
would concur because I'm looking at the model up close, and if it's not smooth, it bothers me.
Yeah.
Gonzo?
I agree with you on that too. Especially, I mean, if we're going to go competition type and everything, just going to be looking at the smooth transition. This is better because if you have a big contrast, you're like, that just doesn't fit right.
It's
just something. It makes it stand out wrong.
A sharp transition, at least in my experience, is a little bit easier to pull off. And I think that I think it shows a little more technique to do a better blend. So, I don't know. That's one way to look at it. It doesn't mean that the painting stinks or anything like that, or you should not, you shouldn't, you're a bad person. I mean, you look at some of the stuff we get on the Brushhead gallery that is very high contrast, very high definition, and it looks amazing. So that's just a personal thing for me. I say paint what makes you happy.
Fair enough. All right, now here's a good one. It'll give you a little thought. I'll start because I've had time to think about it because it's staring at me.
Yeah.
Thomas Tibb wants to know, future Colossal and Gargantuan you want to see?
Oh, we need to see Gojira for Minions. I think that's got to happen.
Yeah,
I would agree there. I was thinking of a mercenary Colossal that's sort of Magnus's Colossal with a giant mechanical arm that knocks things down and like some rapid fire, auto fire obliterator rocket on the other side.
Oh, that'd be
with
fun.
an arc node.
That'd be super fun.
It'd be broken as fuck, but it'd be fun.
A Colossal with an arc node would be pretty amazing.
I have one.
It's called Hurricane.
Oh, that one. Yeah, fuck that.
I
That's
always
Signar.
forget every time.
Yeah, fuck that one.
I still want to see a Man of War Colossal, and just right in the chest is Harkovic piloting it. He's got joysticks doing like this.
That would be awesome.
That would be my little thing.
I'd love to see where else they could go with some of them. Like the Scorn's got so much open for a Colossal, but I'd really like to see what kind of crazy thing they do with Circle, because they got the bird, which was totally out of left field.
Yep.
And they got the Wold. I'm like, what other giant animal could you? I mean, you can make all sorts of cool giant animals.
A
for
giant?
Circle. It'd be awesome.
A giant?
A giant, yeah. I mean, honestly, Trolls already have their third one, so they're ahead of the game there, and it's super awesome.
Beautiful model. I just, for right now, I can't. I got enough other stuff to do that I can't justify buying it because it's too many points for me to put into a list right now, and I can't buy stuff anymore just if I'm not going to play it.
That's fair.
When I get back to Trolls, maybe I'll paint it. We'll see.
All right. Let's see. We get the got a couple in here that are just answered already.
Okay.
I got a whole bunch here. Brian Fox, what's this rash?
What's that rash? I'm guessing it's probably a some form of flesh-eating staphylococcus. So what you want to do is you probably want to rub a little dirt on it and probably go see a medical doctor or a voodoo chief. John, what is that rash?
Was there? I'm not sure what that rash is. It might be Signar, but whatever it is, rub some bacon on it.
Ooh, rub some bacon on it. A little Rhett and Link reference there.
Goddamn right. That's a great song. Gonzo, what's that rash?
Herpes.
Well, there you go,
All
folks.
right. Straight from the jugular.
Well, I mean, someone had to go there. I mean, let's be honest.
Just herpes.
That's fair. Just herpes. All right. Let me see if I can bring us back for that. George Schweizer? I hope I
Schweitzer.
pronounced your last name wrong, right, George? What's the largest measuring tool you've ever used?
My penis. No. The let's see. I had to. I guess the largest I've ever used is a 25-foot tape measure.
Oh, but are we counting tape measure as measuring tools? Or are we talking about, a device? Because I mean, if we can all say tape measure because we can measure whatever we want.
Okay.
I did use a laser rangefinder once. That pile driver's getting me. So does that count? I mean, not really measuring at that point.
I don't
right?
know. Gonzo seems you're kind of taking the arbiter role on this one. What do you think? Does a tape measure count? Does a laser rangefinder count?
I would say that would, because it's not a tape measure per se. Because I mean, I have a 50-foot tape measure. I can measure that out.
But have you used it?
Have I used it? Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay.
Yeah, 40K, we used it. Guy had a table that was like over 12 foot long, and he was playing Imperial Guard.
And you needed every inch of it.
Yeah.
We did it at a couple of old special events at the bunker. We would call in airstrikes, or we would have doom divers at the front table that could affect anyone's table in there. We'd have to get the giant tape measure and measure, then scatter and see where it lands.
But if we're going to use like a measuring device that's not a tape measure, maybe remember the old plastic widget for the biothralls? Whenever they sprayed out, and you just laid that template down, and it was just a big old sweeping half circle.
Yeah. Advanced Deployment made some of those. That was kind of cool. Yeah. That or the one of the apocalyptic templates, either the apocalyptic spray or the apocalyptic barrage template. Those are pretty big too.
Yeah. See, I never played 40K, so I mean the biggest thing if we're limiting ourselves in that way, then probably the 10-inch war stick that just came out is probably the longest thing I've ever used.
Fair enough. All right. Chris Everly, a.k.a. Congo the Jormagund, wants to know, when will the Man at John Channel and the Donald build a wall around Signar?
Oh, God. Well, first off, I'm not doing jack with that Cheetolini guy. So we'll build a wall, and they already built a wall around Sewell, so we're halfway there. And we're gonna make Signar pay for that eventually. But anyhow, so I don't know. He threw me off with referencing the Donald because that guy, man, that guy.
So related, someone named Belinda Lawrence wants to know, name your favorite president.
My favorite president?
I'm guessing not the Donald.
Not the Donald.
Okay.
I don't know. If you look at this point, kind of all politicians are a piece of shit. I thought that Obama was very presidential. I thought he carried himself quite well. I think that he was a nice combination between a politician and a guy that you could feel comfortable about drinking a beer with. I think he was a genuinely good person. I think that politics in general puts you in a weird spot as far as your life. And so I think he did a nice job kind of balancing things. I don't know. I think that Bush 1 and Bush 2 tried to be good presidents, but I don't know. I found Bush 1's wife to be distracting because I think she was. I don't know. I don't believe that she was his wife. I think that was his mom. And I don't know. It's a tough question.
Gonzo, what's your favorite president?
I'm actually going to go with Obama, too. He actually did something that I've been personally invested in and personally had. And I'm not saying that because he did it, but it happened during his pregnancy, was the marriage amendment to let anybody get married, gay, lesbian, whatever. And it's been a bad personal thing for me. And so when that actually happened, the first thing I did is I called my friend, because she was at work and one neighbor too, and she's gay, and I were like, she broke down crying after she heard it, and that to me was really important because it happened during I was alive, because I didn't even think that was going to happen for a long time.
Yep,
There's a lot of doubt in that.
I really think that gay people should have every right to be miserable like the rest of folks.
Yep.
So.
And pay taxes just like us.
Yeah.
Mine was Ronnie Reagan because I have fond memories of that time. I don't know how good he was because I was relatively young.
I wanted to say Reagan too, but I think that I'm too young to really understand everything that was going on back then. I think he communicated well. I think Bill Clinton was a pretty damn good president also.
He was a pimp.
Yeah, he had issues. Let's not kid ourselves. But I think you had that combination of, first off, Congress figured out a way to work with them.
Yeah.
And that's something those jackasses that are in Congress right now need to pull their head out of their ass and get over this shit. Because if we got to figure out, okay, Trump's in office, I get it. When he does something stupid, get in his way, but we have to figure out a way to break this cycle of, I'm going to fight everything you do just because you're not on the same party. That is not productive, folks.
Let me quickly save us from more politics talks. I apologize. Tracy Carter asks, French toast moonshine, brilliant idea or bad idea waiting to happen?
French toast moonshine.
French toast flavored
sounds
moonshine.
good, but it sounds like a one-way trip to bad decisions. Sounds like you end up with your underwear on your head.
I feel like as long as they don't put the maple in there, it'd be fine, because then you can have a drink of that. Then you can follow with a shot of Sort of Liege, and that sounds like good to me.
Yo, that's really brilliant, man. Because that 1-2 punches, you have the Sort of Liege chaser at that point. And you know what? Yep. With a chaser like that, nothing's going to catch you.
Gonzo, what do you think?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, make it like a bready type powdered toast type thing, and then you have the shot. Fuck yeah, let's do it.
Little cinnamon in there.
Yeah.
But not like this crazy-ass fireball bullshit that they found in like some trailer park somewhere. Jesus.
You don't like Fireball whiskey? Fireball whiskey is great, as a mixer.
I don't have a problem with it as I just have a problem with its clientele.
Well,
it's like, Jesus Christ.
Can't help all of them, but L. Marshall actually just tried Sort of Liege for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, do you feel like you just got face fucked by a pancake?
Yeah.
And he's like, yes.
Yes.
That's the best way to describe it.
That is correct. That is the correct answer.
All right. Congo the Drummer Gun again asks, was Doctor Strange really that good? Because I watched it and felt meh.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, dude, it was that good. It may be a better origin story than Iron Man, and it had a much more original way of defeating the villain than most Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll bet you that.
I didn't like it, but I will go with you on that. The origin, everything leading up until he became, Doctor Strange, I enjoyed. The training and all that stuff, enjoyable. I think once they started going into the battle and everything, I was just like,
I don't know.
Didn't get into it.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I enjoyed it. My kids enjoyed it. I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it's not Guardians of the Galaxy for me, but that's fine. Not everything has to be.
All right. Roderick Neil Ball says, is there a paint color that you find yourself reaching for no matter what you are painting? I think I know John's answer.
Yeah, Rule of Gold. I just got done painting it.
I thought you were going to say Sanguine Base.
Yeah, no, Rule of Gold actually makes more appearances than Sanguine Base.
Fair enough.
It is Sanguine Base is a very popular color for me, but I mean, literally, I don't think there's a model that I paint that doesn't have Rule of Gold on it somewhere, because it washes so beautifully with Reichland Flesh Shade, And then when you highlight it with gold, it makes you look like you're way better at painting metals than you are. And ultimately,
Gotcha.
that's what I want. I want paints that make me look like I'm better at this than I am, because I'm okay, but I got a long way to go.
Gonzo?
Pig iron.
Yeah.
That's my go-to metal. I use it. I dry brush with that nonstop. So yeah, pig iron is one I usually use. If there's any bit of metal on the model, pig iron is my go-to, and it's usually dry brushed and then washed. So yeah, that's. I think I've gone through 50 billion pots of that.
Mine is surprisingly Rune Lord brass. Since I paint a lot of steampunk stuff through all my hobbies, I get a lot of that brass color out there because it's not as ostentatious as gold and not as plain as pig iron.
Yep. The biggest problem I'm having with this model right now is I'm trying to figure out when to stop painting like doodads on it and just weather it. And just weather the fuck out of it and start to put some OSL on it and just be done with it. You know what I mean?
Are you going to paint all the rivets, or are all the parts with rivets going to be a different color? Just curious.
I don't know that I'm going to paint all the rivets.
You
I
better
think you
paint
should
all the rivets.
Paint all the rivets.
Okay.
Paint.
Tell you,
all
now, I'll say it with all honesty. I wasn't sure on my galleon, which is about halfway done, and then and Morton Joe convinced me to do it, and I went through a little black dot on all of them, little pig iron / chainmail / whatever dot on them, and man, it makes a hell of a difference. It was a pain in the ass, but it is well worth the time.
All right.
Very much so.
Next level.
Okay.
And his Roderick's ultra question was, "What's your favorite alcohol to use as a paint additive?" I had an alcohol. The alcohol goes in the mouth hole. The paint goes in the model.
Yeah, I don't do that.
That's
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't add alcohol to my paints at all. I add it to my mouth, like I'm going to
if
do
I had
right
to,
now.
it'd be sort of leaves, so my models would be super tasty.
That would be great.
All right. Adam Williams, when looking at a second faction, what is it that you go for?
I want to be able to paint it and have fun. I think more than anything else. I mean, I look at. I've got so many damn factions. I usually want something to be different than what I have. So, like when I picked up my Ret, the reason I picked up my Ret is that at the time I had Protectorate and I think I had Khador back then too. And I wanted something that was going to be fast, brutally fast, and could get across the table and do stuff. And that's what Ret really is. And so that was I wanted a change of pace faction. And that's what I was thinking about. John, what are your thoughts?
I was looking for something just different. I mean, when my first factions are Trolls, Signar, and Mercenaries, all of which play very, very similarly. I don't care what anyone tells you. At the core, those are all very combined armsy factions. I was looking, that's why I went to Circle, because I wanted something completely different. Totally different play style with different variety of models to play with. Gonzo, how about you?
Pretty much the same thing. I don't want to play the same thing over and over, which kind of defeats the purpose of me playing from Trolls to Khador, because it's kind of the same, but it's a minion or a hordes and a war machine.
Yeah.
So different play style, but still kind of a beat 'em up. But I went from Menoth to Khador, and then I went to Ret. So completely different play styles.
Yeah, all three completely different. That's just good. The only slight overlay is Menoth and Ret were very jack heavy, I assume, when you started them, because they could do more with them.
Correct.
Cool. All right, where's that next one I was looking for?
Well, I'm going to tell you what. I must have been painting this during the all day when the alcohol was strong with this one.
Yes.
Because
All the mistakes.
man, there's a lot of cleanup that's got to have happen on this. Holy shit, this is not okay.
Here's the question I was looking for. It's from Bubba54.
Okay.
It's for you specifically, John.
Okay.
How do you expect to handle your sortilege against Canadians in Canadian land? He assumes poorly.
Well, I mean, I don't handle my alcohol terribly well at any time, so, but I take that as a challenge accepted. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I haven't had sortilege in the house in a long time, so this is gonna be good. Looking forward to it. Next week's gonna be amazing. So.
Cool. All right, let's get some more interesting ones. Carrie Snow wants to know, will you face the North with Beer Machine and Thunderdome at the Sioux?
Face the North with Thunderdome at the Sioux. I'm not sure what that means.
Face the North with Beer Machine in the Thunderdome at the Sioux.
Sure.
Thunderdome in beer versus the North. Go.
Yes, I'm in.
There you go.
I'm in.
All right. Barry Holmes, Rave Bomb wants to know, he's painting a large demon model. He's trying to figure out how a dark velvet might happen, like inside of a bat wing.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So I will say honestly, if you can find any painting guide that GW has put out for anything like that, they will have some very cool way described in great detail that even I could follow on how to paint that.
I've never tried.
It might be hard to
anything
find,
like that.
but man, if you find your buddies have old white dwarves and all, those old painting articles, actually legitimately worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm
Other
not
than
more
that-
help than that.
God,
I wouldn't have
go
any
hit up
idea.
Seth.
Yeah, ask a real painter. That'll be the
As
best
a
thing.
professional.
Yeah.
God, I don't even know.
I wouldn't know where to start with velvet. Make sure it's blue, and then ask somebody like who's seen that movie. I don't know.
Is it crushed or is it normal velvet?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God. So Bubba 54 has a follow-up question for you, John.
Okay.
Do you realize who he is?
Yeah, it's probably King of the North.
I assumed. Okay.
Yeah, probably
Making
King.
sure.
Probably King of the North. I mean, I would expect. I'm looking forward to seeing the King of the North. You know, honestly, the Sioux really should be called royalty. The royalty get together, because literally you can have the president and the king of War Machine and Hordes in one place. There are certain rules against that, because I think that from a succession standpoint, that if we were to both be in the same place and someone rolled a grenade in on it, that could present problems from a leadership standpoint, continued leadership standpoint. But you know, we're going to try it. We're going to, you know, Canada has strong laws against that.
That's like the rule that Team Dave has. Did you know that all the members of Team Dave are actually one conglomerate, and they can't have two members in one spot at one point, just in case?
Who's Team Dave?
Everyone named Dave.
So there you go.
That's a not Brushhead Dave joke. All the Daves, because we have him, Dave Taylor, you know, 7 or 8 other Daves. So they made jokes like that. Dave Laren, bunch of cool dudes.
Good.
All right, let's go here.
Okay.
There we go. Dale Kunz. You know who Dale
Oh my
is, right?
God, yeah. Hi, Dale.
He's old school podcasting, honestly.
Fuck yeah, he's royalty. You don't know. He was one of the original pod thralls, and also on the Thaco podcast.
Mm-hmm. When all the widget dependents quit, will that leave only casual players?
God, I hope so.
It's entirely no, it won't, because a lot of those guys actually don't care. A lot of the higher level guys are like, whatever. There's only a handful, I think, that are, again, like everything, there's only a handful that are making things uncomfortable for the rest of us with their vocality. Is that a word? It is now.
Vocalnesses.
Gonzo?
I agree. The ones they're gonna bitch about it and stuff, the ones that are still bitching about it, they're going to bitch no matter what. They could say, well, pre-measuring it in, and you could use 75, but no more than 75, and they would still bitch.
Yep. He said, also, will Eldar still be able to ally with the Tau?
Well, yeah, why not? Why not? They're all spacey and stuff, so why not? We'll give it to them. I don't care.
Gonzo, what do you think?
No, I don't think so. I think they're going to get rid of all of that BS.
I agree. I think they should get rid of all that BS, and if you want to play with Eldar and Tau, you take Eldar or Tau, and then your buddy takes the other army, and you find 2 more people to play against.
Yeah,
That's the way it should be. That's old school.
Yes, I remember old school. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to take my Tau and blow stuff up.
You remember the games where you line up and there's 12 of you one side and 12 on the other side, and it's like, go. We got all night. Time for this shit to die.
Yep. No, with the new rules, I have a feeling that's what they're going to do.
That's good. That's good. All right. Stacy Jansen wants to know, John, does your dog appear to be intoxicated?
Does my no? Well, a little.
Make him think.
A little. a little. She's pretty conked out over there, and it could be that she is a little intoxicated. I will not admit to having ever gotten her drunk though. So.
On purpose.
No, I can't. This dog finds every opportunity to take a crap and make terrible gas. So I think that would be a bad move on my part.
All right, Tim Simpson drops one on us that I feel like is pretty much a Gonzo question.
Okay.
Oh, yes, my buddy.
Which Kador unit do you think should be played that isn't part of one of the current themes?
Oh, Assault Commandos.
Boom.
I'm actually trying to figure out a way to put Assault Commandos with flamethrowers. Strike off 2, they go to speed 8 with Assault. So it's what, 8, 9, 10, 11, 21-inch threat.
And Crimson 1919 just dropped Assault Commandos in the chat room too. That's a very obviously the right answer.
I want them to be I want to play them so bad.
I feel like they have the same problem as the Sea Dogs, is that when too many Jacks show up, they're just like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Jacks.
They're they're Ret 5. So
yeah, Ret 5 is a thing.
Yeah,
that fixes that.
The equivalent is the cleansers for the for Protectorate. They're Ret 5, which causes some problems, but they since they're POW 12, they have issues. But you can put them with somebody like a Malachus, and then they become a boosted POW 12, and become a legitimate threat.
I actually don't have a problem with Rat 5 sprays. In fact, if a unit had Rat 6 sprays, I'd probably have a problem with that. So actually, yeah, the Crimson 19 says they're actually Rat Mat 6 now for the Assault Commandos. I have not confirmed.
They
which
are
good to take out infantry.
Yeah, they're Rat 6. The only
cool.
problem with them of going to Rat Mat 7 with Strike Off 1 is you have to be within his command, and they just want to take off and go.
True. Fair enough. So not necessarily a question, but Zoja Simpson, no relation to Tim Simpson, wants us to run a segment on cat facts.
Okay. Fact: my cats are assholes.
All cats are assholes.
Yeah.
Most cats are assholes.
So,
fact: cats can tell that I am allergic to them, and thus love me and love to cuddle with me.
Nice. So we will do a segment on there, Zosha, and we will add. We'll put that on the list of things we will consider doing.
All right, let's see here. Interesting one. So Wilhan wants to know, with the mass player opinions from the CID and Facebook groups, are we entering a new period of visible whining rather than reasoned debate? He did air quotes whining.
I think it's possible, but I think that whiners are going to whine any way you do it. But I think that what we're really entering a new era of is stuff that when it becomes an actual legitimate rule in the game is going to work out better, and it's going to be more balanced. It's going to be more because it's going to have more data behind it, and I think that can only be a good thing. So I think that people who are looking at the CID as being something that is reason to rage and have all kinds of problems, that's stupid. Give them feedback, be reasoned in your feedback, and you're going to end up with a better game out of it. So settle down, pilgrims.
I agree. I feel like the vocal minority is going to come out in force for any of this, but I feel like the guys at Privateer Press understand that enough. And there is a non-vocal majority that actually still puts in reports and all to the CID, so I don't think it's going to be a major problem, luckily.
Agreed.
Gonzo, what do you think?
I agree with you also. We also got to think that the information is now out there quicker and faster, because when they did a change to any of the War Machine editions, we didn't know about it. We couldn't tell. We didn't anything. And so now it's snap. We get the information quicker, faster, and it's out there a lot more. So you're going to hear a lot more whining. You're going to hear, because otherwise it would have been you whining at your game shop and John whining at his game shop and me, someone at mine. Now we hear everybody whining on all the different Facebook posts and Facebook feeds and Twitter and all that crap. Yeah. So it's going to seem like we have more people whining, But I still think we've got a really good positive result of what the CID is doing.
Oh, excellent. So I have a whole ton here on theme lists, but I feel like we should do an episode on theme lists when we to cover these.
Cool. I mean, you're more than welcome to do that next week while I'm gone if you want.
I was going to ask you if you wanted to be in it or not.
No, you can do that next
for
week.
A theme list discussion?
Yeah, well,
yeah. Send me some of the questions so I can be prepared for them.
Yeah. After this thing, I'll get them together and shoot you those.
I think it's more.
So you go. Anyone who's proposed a nice theme list question, we're going to answer them sans John, because he knows what's coming out for theme list because he's the president of War Machine and Hordes, and we can't include him on this discussion.
Well, and it wouldn't be fair because
speculation.
It wouldn't be fair because I'd have to probably interject some fake news and some alternate facts just to kind of cover my tracks a little bit because got to do that.
You got that NDA. You got to keep that NDA.
NDA, man. NDA for life.
All right. Well, Belinda Lawrence also propped one here. What is your favorite March for Science sign?
Okay, so we took Belinda took part in the March for Science. There was oh God, I should have prepared for this question because I knew it was coming. There was one that my favorite ones are the ones, of course, because I'm a chemical engineer by education. The ones that used the elements to spell things out. Folks, we should not be afraid of science. We should be afraid of people who are saying that science is not a real thing. And folks, we're only on this planet for a little bit of time, but for those of us who have kids, let's leave the planet in a good place for them. So science is real. Stop fucking up the environment. So there you go.
My favorite was one I saw on Facebook that said, "I can't believe I'm marching for facts."
Oh no.
Yeah, no, right. That's a good one.
That's kind of a shots fired kind of one.
Yep.
Mine was, I don't know if anybody saw it, as first it came for scientists and the National Park Service said no, and it went rogue. We were all like, I was not expecting the park rangers to lead the resistance. None of the dystopian futures I read prepared me for this.
That was a good one. That was a really good one.
That one was my favorite. I laughed so hard.
That was super legit. Oh, all right. So let's get a couple more here. We have a ton. We have a fair amount more still, but let's. Hey, Dan Cotroop or Archidad.
Love that guy.
Actually threw a bunch at us when you asked because
he's sweet.
Let's get the most important.
Okay.
Favorite yellow paint for models. Seriously, he's looking.
Moldy ochre.
Moldy ochre.
A moldy ochre for a privateer P3 because it's a great starter yellow. It covers great. It's really opaque. Yellows tend to be very translucent. So if you start with a moldy ochre as a base, then you can build up from there with different colors as a highlight and make it more maybe bright yellow than that one is. So I feel like I took yours, John.
Oh no, that's fine. I was going to go with that also. Gonzo?
I don't paint yellow. Fuck yellow.
Yellow's fucking hard. Yellow's a pain in the ass.
It is. It is. The only way I can really paint with yellow is I have to paint it with like a white underneath or like a beige and then paint with yellow. So yeah, no. And yellow's my favorite color in the world, and I cannot paint yellow.
Well, they say I used to write down or type up all the tips that like John Webb and guys would give off of boosted damage and all that on painting tips, and one of them was either mix your yellow with a brown as a base coat or start with brown and build up from there. So there's a lot of things, but yeah, yellow is a goddamn. All right. The last non-PP mini you painted.
Last non-PP, I have not completed it yet, but it's a Reaper Bones miniature of a boar demon that I'm using. I did it on the show not that long ago where I was doing demonstrating freehand tattoos. He's right here. Still not done. He's boom, but he's super cool, and he has some prison tats on him and stuff like that I've been doing. So anyway, that's probably the last one. What about you, John?
Mine was the one I'm trying to remember it is Void Spirit, I think they're called, or Void Wretch from Malifaux that actually showed up on a Brushhead gallery sometime last year. It's been a while.
Hey John, when you do your rivets, you do like a little bit of brown or black first, and then you put the silver on top of it, right?
Yep, I do black first, and then do silver afterwards.
Okay.
You could probably skip that if you want to, if you don't mind doing a little cleanup afterwards, by just doing that and then doing a wash over them all.
Yeah, because I'm gonna wash the shit out of this thing.
If you're gonna wash the shit out of it, don't then.
Okay.
You might have to go back over them afterwards
Okay.
with a little bit of highlight to make them pop again. But if you're gonna wash the crap out of it, don't do the black first. They just take extra time.
All right.
Gonzo, what was the last non-privateer press model you painted?
I painted a Arena Rex model just not too long ago, about a week ago, because I got an Arena Rex faction army, whatever you want to call it, and really enjoying the game. I was like, oh, I want to paint this up, and it turned out pretty decent.
Cool. Spoiler: the next one I do will either be something for Malifaux or something for Relic Knights, because someone put a lot of money into Relic Knights again. Hey, look, I got a lot of buddies going to play. It's going to be fun. I like that game. They're doing a good thing. And Co-host Corner 28 is going to have it's going to be a free one. I'll send it to John for a free one. It's going to have a little overview of some of the changes in the rules if you guys are interested. All right. Still going with Arky Dan for a little longer here. Who would win between Grimkin and Convergence of Cyrus?
I think Grimkin. Oh, although Grimkin needs living bodies and shit to do their shtick, so I think Cock rolls all over that one.
Phrasing.
The Cock just smashes them left, right, up, down.
I think the Cock whips out a win in no time at all.
Just lays on the table and doesn't do anything with it.
Well, since the Cock has some of the best sprays in the game, I feel like it probably just takes it out.
Well, yeah. I mean, you step back from the Cock and take a good hard look at what you got. It's impressive.
Oh, that went exactly where I thought it was going to go.
Man, we haven't done cock jokes in a long time. That felt good.
That's what she said.
Boom.
Favorite thing to eat while painting? Eating while painting? That's fucking odd.
I don't eat and paint.
Sorry.
I don't eat and paint.
I don't eat and paint.
I drink and paint.
Drink and either like a candy or a chocolate snack.
Yeah, I can't eat and paint because I usually have earbuds in, and I hate the sound of me chewing in my ears while I've got earbuds in.
I hear you.
I know it's crazy, but I'm strange. This just in. Best tacos you've ever had?
I've had so I was waxing nostalgic this weekend about Mexican food in Utah, and there's a place in Tremonton called El Perel, and it had the best Mexican food I've ever had anywhere ever. So El Perel, Tremonton, Utah. It's not a reason to go to Tremonton though. There's very little reason to go to Tremonton ever.
Is there a lot of reason to go to Utah?
Utah's beautiful. It really is.
Okay.
If you're a skier, Utah is amazing. If you're not a skier, the mountains are still really beautiful. There are great breweries in Utah, believe it or not, which is a bit surprising. But there is a lot of good, cool things going on with that.
All right, Gonzo, best tacos you've ever had?
Homemade.
Homemade. Goddamn right. I like what you say.
Homemade. I don't trust nobody to make my damn tacos. I pile up with whatever I want. Yeah, no. Homemade stuff.
As funny as it is, there's a point in my life, maybe 15 years ago, where I would have said Taco Bell because it's the only place that had tacos. But luckily, I'm way past that point because those are not so good. Honestly, there's a place right across from one of the local malls that's really close to me called Plaza Garibaldi that makes really good Mexican food. It's hard to eat there because they have a very small place, and so the waits get crazy. Other than that, there was one place, and I didn't have them within a good time from each other. On the way back from Ocean City over on the Eastern Shore, where we were stuck in traffic, and I stopped and I had tacos there, and they were fucking great. So, let's be honest. If it's not homemade, you're going to have to go to an actual Mexican restaurant to get good tacos.
Yep. There's a lot of rivets on this model. What's wrong with you people making me paint these rivets?
Man up.
Yeah, I did a conquest, so...
Yeah. Look, the old Drop Zone motto was man up or bitch down.
Man, you guys are rough.
Well, apparently Drop Zone bitch down, though.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Favorite guilty pleasure drinks?
Mai Tais.
Sorry.
Mai Tais are fucking
thought-
delicious.
John, did you see the Muppets video of Jungle Boogie?
No.
You should check it out, because at the end, there's Sam the Eagle going, "What exactly is in a Mai Tai anyways?"
Yeah.
It was... It's funny, because the whole thing ends up being a dream. Very funny.
Mai Tais are delicious.
Gonzo, what's your guilty pleasure drink?
I don't even know. I don't even, I'm like, no, I want this.
Do you feel guilt?
No. I mean, if it's going to be alcohol in it, why should you feel guilty about it anyway?
I agree. I would say Smirnoff Ice, because that's the one I was least likely to tell other people that I drink and enjoy a lot. Just enjoy a good Smirnoff Ice. I mean, hey, nice,
Nothing wrong with
cold, crisp. All right. A terrain display board project you wish you could do but never have the time. Any of them,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah, I'd like to do terrain someday, maybe.
All right.
Gonzo?
If anybody was on my Facebook, I just did a Arena Rex table. Built my entire Arena Rex. So I love doing terrain. I love doing, modular boards when I had the time. But the Arena Rex one was actually, I wouldn't say it was easy, but it wasn't difficult. It was time consuming. So, and if anybody needs it, I'll send pictures if you need to. But it was a full 36 by 36 inch table, painted and made up in a big 30-inch circle, and all the pieces that go with it. So,
Sweet.
yeah.
So Brian Latour wants to know, should you ever feel bad about playing with good models or having a really good matchup?
Say it one more time, buddy.
Yeah.
Should you ever feel bad about playing with good models or having a really good matchup? No. Never feel bad about that. The matchup is what it is. If it just so happens to fall that they chose to play something that matches up poorly against you, play it real quick and then find another opponent or re-rack and try again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every game is a chance for one of you to learn something important, whether it being him learning to deal with a bad matchup or you learning to play that game perfectly. Because that's what you do in a big matchup. You're like, I need to do every move perfectly. You don't get any takebacks and you've got the good matchup. You just, take it as you can and just try and do the best game you can. Because just because it's a good matchup doesn't mean you can't lose.
Yeah. I had a situation like that. We had a 25-point Rumble tournament at the LGS this week. And my first opponent, it was his first tournament that he'd ever played. And he played into my Rask 25-point list, which 25-point Rask is on a Rumble is pretty dirty. And so it was one of those things where, hey, just, I want to make sure that you had a good time and we had a lot of fun and those kinds of things. So I tried to offer him was maybe a little bit of advice afterwards about playing a little bit quicker because he clocked himself. And
which is actually better for a player like that than actually straight up getting their if you will, shit pushed in.
yeah.
Because they're like, oh, it's a clock. I can do something about that. I'm like, absolutely you can. But, I mean, I feel like our players, our community is way better about the post-game talk than any other game I've ever seen in my life. So much, like, you used to get that with a game of 40K. They'd be like, yep, good game. And they walk off, you walk off, and that was it. This is like, oh, you could end this, you could end this. It's so much more open and interesting. I really like it.
Which is how it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, some people take that shit too seriously. In fact, I would say if you're meeting anyone who is not interested in the post-game talk, they may be a very serious player, and just keep that in mind for the next time you may have to play that person.
Yep.
So at this point, I feel like we should probably jump into the media section, because I actually want to talk a tiny bit about National Tabletop Day, which was this weekend.
Where the hell did this
Okay.
show go? I mean,
What's that?
This is crazy. Where is the show gone? It's going so fast tonight.
Yeah, I know. Well, we're answering lots of questions. I mean, we did about maybe a tiny bit more than half. And then there's a fair amount on theme lists, and we'll have to see what we have left after that. Throw some in here or there.
I'm going to finish this last row of rivets here on the top before I give up for the night, and then we'll start talking about the I'll join the media section a little bit more fully. But John, do you want to start the media section off?
Well, yeah, I would like I want to talk about National Tabletop Day.
Yeah,
Did any of you
go
guys
for it.
play any tabletop games for that?
I did not.
No, nothing.
I was in a qualifier yesterday, so that count?
That counts. It's tabletop games, sir.
Yep.
We went to games and stuff as we always do on Saturday. And we it's funny, I didn't realize it was National Tabletop Day until I went in the back and there's all these board games we played, and then we're playing Star Realms just for fun, and the store owner comes by and gives us all wristbands and tickets and all. And Epic Brushhead Brett Painter won a giant stack of Blood Fury.
Wow.
Which is super cool. And then I won a signed copy of Descent.
Ooh.
Wow.
And we were only there till about 12:30. Then we went to lunch, to give you an idea. And they gave me the copy of Descent. They gave out a bunch of Descent dice bags, token bags, a bunch of special tokens in them. Another batch of that Blood Fury game. Another Descent. A couple other big piles of games. It was crazy. Super cool. GameStop did a great job. And it was good to see a bunch of guys there playing games. We had a guy from Game Trade Monthly, which is the Diamond Alliance magazine / apparently have a YouTube channel also. Check it out if you want to play some crazy games. They're taking pictures, talking to people. It was a very cool event. I haven't had that much fun just hanging out, playing some board games in a while. And then afterward, went to El Marshall's and we played Shadows Over Brimstone, which is sort of like Malifaux, the board game, like that sort of Descent style. But that game is no joke. It is brutal as hell. You feel like it's going to be a role-playing game, but then you realize, no, there are dice involved, and you can just straight fucking die because you rolled bad dice, so get used to that. But it was a very good time, and I can't wait for next year.
I was actually helping Belinda's mom look at cars because she wants to buy a new car. So I didn't get a chance to do too much of the old board gaming. But I that's awesome. I think, if you look back when we were younger, and for me that's a long time ago, that was, board games and stuff wasn't cool. It was like, you had life and you had some of the other things, and there wasn't much to board gaming, but I think it's fantastic. We have a National Board Game Day that's celebrated by nerds everywhere and by non-nerds everywhere. So that's awesome.
There are a ton of people. It was super good, super cool. Keep it up. So, actual media, unless you guys want to talk about any other games you played.
Let's see. I did play in that 25-point Rumble tournament, and I did win it, and I haven't won anything in 1,000 years. But I did win. My first player was brand new. My second player played He Is King from the chat room, and we had a wonderful game. We took it right down to the last couple pieces, and I ended up winning on basically an attrition game with Rask. And then the third round, which was the last round, I was posted up against Wonky Kong, and we decided to play it out like top level players. So we ship Captain Crude, and because it was 8:00 at night, and I wanted to get home to my kids, so I decided to ship Captain Crew, and I won with an 8. So boom, top level player right here, boys.
Fair enough. Gonzo, how'd your qualifier go?
It went really good. Took a list I'd never played before. So played that, dropped it down first round, and wrecked the opponent. I felt kind of bad. No, I didn't. And then Mike Perrier beat me the second round.
I hear he's good at this game.
Yeah, he was good. I had a hard time fighting against Harbinger, so it was a good slugfest. Other opponent almost beat Abby 2, left her on 1 health and couldn't finish her. Fourth round, tabled my opponent, and then the fifth round, I was like, I'm just kind of done playing. Run me over. Hey, good game. Thank you. Let's get a drink.
5 rounds is tough, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Anything beyond 4 is taxing me.
Yeah, I think it taxes most people. I think it's hard to keep focus that long.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean,
All right.
it was a good event. We had a lot of people show up. We had people coming from Houston to Arkansas. So I mean, it was really good. I was really impressed by the amount of people we had show up.
Sweet. All right. So the much anticipated movie section,
Woohoo!
actual movies now. Gonzo, we want to start or finish with you since you've got the actual theme list.
You can finish with me. That's fine.
All right, we'll finish with Gonzo. John, talk about Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast is fantastic. This is the reboot version with Emma Watson, right? That's her name?
Mhm.
Yeah, Emma Watson. Man, I could watch her read a telephone book. She's so beautiful. And she's a very talented actress. And it was fantastic. It's a musical. And so but the songs are all ones you probably remember from the animated one. Really like the diversity angle they threw at it with the actors. I thought that it's just a very moving story, and everyone plays their parts very well. Kevin Kline, who I haven't seen in a movie in a long time, was in it. Ian McKellen plays the clock. You got Stanley Tucci is in there for a little while, just playing over. God, he plays his character so huge in the early part of the story, and it was funny because I was watching it, I didn't realize it was Stanley Tucci. And when I was going into the credits, I went to Belinda. Said, "God, you know who would play the piano guy really, really good? Is Stanley Tucci." And there he was, Stanley Tucci. So that was kind of funny, but I really liked it. Very well done story and good pacing, and I cried a little. I'll be the first to admit it. So it's really, really good. So I give it to No Shots of Kraken. It's just a nice story. Take your kids, take your girlfriend, take your wife. Don't take your girlfriend and your wife at the same time because that could lead to friction. Don't need that. But I would highly recommend getting out and seeing it.
Yeah, the Creekins, the roommate, actually saw it this week, like I said in the pre-ramble, and she said it was great. She loved it.
Yep, very well done. Extremely well done. So
Excellent.
I was going to do a theme force based on it, but I didn't get around to it because lazy.
Fair enough.
But as was mentioned in the chat room earlier on, pretty much it's any list with Dan and Blythe and Ball. So,
Yeah.
or as a caster, I guess you could take Ashlyn would be a wonderful Bell. You could take who else would be a good caster?
I think Ashton's probably the best because Connie B doesn't necessarily fit.
No,
Maybe Connie B. She's a little too spiritual and all. I don't know.
no, Absolonia.
Though her armor would paint up much better in the yellow.
Oh, fuck yellow. There you go. Another callback. That's professional podcasting. Anyway, so there you go. 0 Shots of Kraken for the Beauty and the Beast. Get out there and see it. What about you, John? What did you see?
X-Men Apocalypse.
That movie.
Bowie, formerly PG Bowie, had that. And I'd mentioned at one of our Adventures of Sewer Bear sessions that I'd like to see it, but I did not wish to pay for it. And he loaned it to me, and damn, I was right. I did not want to pay for that movie.
It's not good.
Man, I don't even know where to start. It's not good.
No, it's
I
not
wouldn't
even.
say it's terrible either. It's pretty horribly middle of the road. There's very little character development in the entire movie. It's cliche as fuck throughout. I mean, cliche as fuck for a comic book movie.
Yeah, that's saying something.
It's tough when you have. I mean, the problem is that some of these people have to stand in the footsteps of actual great actors, or actors who did a great job previously. You know, let's be honest. Let's see. Brain stopping on names. James McAvoy is not Patrick Stewart. May not ever be Patrick Stewart. Those are tough shoes, a tough chair to fill. Let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Ian McKellen is a bit better at this than what's his name? Said it earlier and I forgot it.
Fassbinder.
Yeah, Michael Fassbender. Ian McKellen's a better actor, and they gave him better material, more or less, to work with. I mean, Magneto has this, unfortunately, the same exact character arc every time. I'm trying to be good. Oh, something horrible happens. I'm a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm good again. He's got the sine wave of good and bad.
Yep. Fair enough.
More face turn heels than someone in the WWE.
Boom.
And then whoever plays Nightcrawler, unfortunately, has to follow whoever played Nightcrawler in X-Men 2 because that guy was fucking amazing. And this one, Nightcrawler's just, I teleport you where you need to go.
Mm-hmm.
Couple okay lines. He was a more charming part of the movie. The girl who played Jean Grey was okay. The guy who played Cyclops was okay. The villain was fucking the ooze guy from the fucking Power Rangers movie. It's not a good movie.
Nope. I watched it on an airplane. That was as much as I wanted to invest in that movie. I literally couldn't go anywhere else.
So, Creekins actually said the most telling thing about this movie, she said, and I quote, "This movie wanted to be a lot more than it actually was."
Yeah.
And that's probably the best description of the movie. It tried so hard to be more. It took a ton of ideas together and tried to make a great movie out of it. And it just missed the mark of being a great movie. I mean, they're making the next movies. We'll see how that one is. Honestly, the X-Men movies are kind of like the Alien and DC movies also, where you're like, well, maybe the next one will be good. Difference is they occasionally deliver something like Logan or Deadpool to keep us interested.
Yeah.
We'll see how it is. I'll be nice, and I'll give it 3 shots of Kraken because it really didn't offend me at any point.
It was just very lame. And that's the best way to put it. It was just very... It was like... The movie didn't go up or down, and it was like, oh, they won.
The little tiny pinpoints or someone did something cool. You're like, oh, that's cool. Okay, this is cool. A couple minor things were cool. I actually liked what they did for Mystique. I just wish Jennifer Lawrence would have put more into it.
Yeah. There's another one I could watch. Read the newspaper.
Yeah, but she obviously was contracted to this movie, and she didn't really feel it. I'm not gonna say she wasn't giving her all. If you don't feel something, you can't give it your 100%. That's just a fact of life.
Yep.
For most actors and actresses.
For most people,
I like how they turned her into a hero, which I thought was great because she saved the president. I'm like, that was a good touch. It's just so much squandered opportunity, and there's only so much time before the X-Men movies just fade into no one gives a shit land, and it'll be sad then. But yeah, 3 shots of Kraken. If you can see it for free, definitely see it for free. If you love the X-Men, don't ever watch this movie. In fact, if you love the X-Men, there's only maybe 3 movies you should ever watch, and they're X-Men 2, Deadpool, and Logan.
Wow, not Days of Future Past?
Days of Future Past, all due respect to everyone who thinks it was the best superhero movie ever, you're fucking wrong.
Oh, I didn't say that. I just thought it was a decent X-Men movie.
It wasn't good.
Oh.
It was okay. What I will give it, among everything else, is the Quicksilver Steve, and that was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
That was worth the price of watching it.
Fair enough.
That was a great scene. They tried to recreate it in this one. It wasn't quite as good. It was obviously they're trying a little too hard to recapture that magic. But yeah, 3 shots, like I said, didn't offend you. Take a look. Hold out hope for the next X-Men movie. I mean, maybe they get it right eventually.
Cool. All right, Gonzo, you're up. Talk to us. Independence Day 4 Resurgent. Jesus Christ. We're just abusive. We're just bad people watching bad movies. Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, okay, we all saw the original, and it was cool as shit, had the great speeches. I mean, of course, Will Smith was in it, so he had to, welcome to Earth type thing. But, I mean, I was hoping that it would just be a good space battle movie. And
didn't get that, did you?
I was watching it. And they were trying way too damn hard. They're like, we want to capture the old nostalgia. And I'm like, no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it was horrible. And it was the only movie I watched this week. So I was like, oh, shit. I got to make a list based on it. And so I was trying to think about it. And I was like, well, fighter pilots, these kids, because they were really kids. They weren't really thinking. I says, no, screw it. I'm going to build it off the aliens. And that's the reason why I went with Convergence on it.
Well done.
Well
done.
I was like, the aliens I'm going to build a list for.
Good.
So, and I took the aliens because I mean, actually the aliens were cool. They had kind of cool spaceships. It was all right. Just everything to deal with the humans sucked balls.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took the idea of having large spaceships and itty bitty fighters. And I started realizing that I started building the theme list. And I went, crap, okay, this actually works based on pretty much what was going to be in the movie. All the servitors are the little fighter planes, small little fighter jets. Of course, Prime Complex is the big mother ship. The TEPs are the other big ships. The directives are there just to be there to help. And I was trying to figure out a caster to go with it, and Mother's probably not the best one to go with it because you could probably put in Father or Forge Master to make the list better, but it goes off the thing of the alien was the Mother Alien or whatever her name was. Yeah. And I was like, I went with that. And I actually started looking at it, and actually, this is actually a pretty decent popular list right now without even building it because everything's got fucking shield guard.
Yeah. This thing's terrible. I don't want to play against this list.
Yeah, God, those Optifix directors just gonna stand behind the three big things, be like heal, 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 heal.
Yeah, I mean, I got a friend of mine that plays something very similar, just a little bit off of it, but that's actually a pretty popular list in hardcore tournaments now. And I was like, shit, that actually works.
Yep.
But I mean, I could not build a list off the humans. The humans were stupid. They were idiotic. They were.
You'd
just
pick every
together.
derpy, half-assed model you could put together that had no synergy whatsoever. And where's the fun in that? I'm thinking about taking these lists and putting them together into like a PDF that we'll make available for the patrons. So we haven't done one of those in a long time. So we'll probably do that as we get a few more of them. So, well,
I'll
cool.
tell you, that list actually right there is pretty stupid. And it's a pain in the butt to get around without even thinking about it because it's very close to a friend of mine's list and everything is shield guard. So I'm like, oh, shield guard, shield guard, shield guard. And shield guard, shield guard, shield guard.
Yeah.
You shoot what I want.
Yes.
Yep. Well, cool. Good list, Gonzo. Really appreciate it. The movie, I'm guessing, is probably busting somewhere around 3.5 to 4 shots of Kraken.
Very much so. It was horrible.
Yeah, bad times.
Oh,
Don't watch
God.
this movie, folks. There's so many hours in your life. I mean, you're born and you get X number of hours. You don't know what that X is, so don't waste it. Because
don't waste it on bad, shitty movies. Find the shitty movies that you can laugh at and make fun of.
Yeah, boy, I'll tell you.
Let us be that one.
Mystery Science Theater hitting it out of the park again with I forget what the hell it was called, but it was a Korean monster movie, Goyo or something like that. It was legit. The new cast is just knocking it out of the park. Really enjoy it. Watch Mystery Science Theater 3000 and tell Netflix to give them another season because this crew is really doing a good job.
Well, they kickstarted this, didn't they?
They sure did. They sure did. But I think they kickstarted it, and then I think Netflix picked it up or something like that. Hard to say.
Oh, yeah. Well, Netflix didn't really give them one season. They had it made. And someone's like, well, yeah, we'll agree to put out the stuff you've already paid for.
Yeah. Cool. Well, shit, guys. We just did a show.
What?
I know, right?
I didn't finish painting.
I painted some things. I got some more silvers on this thing. I got some more brass colors on it. Started painting the rivets, and I agree. It's looking a lot better with the rivets painted. And then when I wash it, it'll look great. Then I'll highlight them back up again with a real bright silver, and it'll pop up real nice. I am going to weather the fuck out of this model. I'm going to do all the corrosion and the rust and all that kind of good stuff. So we'll do that probably next time I'm on the show, which will be in 2 weeks. But folks, that doesn't mean you don't want to have to be here next week, because those two guys, if I pointed in the right direction, those two guys are going to be doing a show. And it'll be super sweet and totally legit. And you guys are going to be talking about, what the hell did we say we were going to talk? Theme lists.
There you go.
Theme lists. So, on behalf of the co-host with the mo-host, Mr. John Spencer, and of course, the most irrational Gonzo, I'm Menoth John. Thanks for spending 90 minutes or 2 hours with us. Get on over to patreon.com/MenothJohn. Support the show if you've enjoyed what we're doing. We'll get some more stuff out on the website and the feeds and all that kind of stuff, and so you can enjoy this later. So have a great week, everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.